I have the pleasure of introducing you to Andrew Trepanier. He is a studly 12-year-old swimmer from Minnesota, the Storm Swim Club, with Coach Phil Smith. And you'll get to hear both of them talk about what it was like to break 7 Minnesota State records and be ranked #1 in several events, not just one stroke, not just one distance, but butterfly, backstroke, freestyle, and in the IM. I am here with Phil Smith, the co-head coach of Storm Swim Club, and Andrew, a unique swimmer here. He actually is the top national age group swimmer in 12 and under. So Andrew, tell us what it's a little bit like in terms of you broke 7 state age group records here in Minnesota, and you're ranked #1 in 3 of those events nationally. You're 2nd in a couple of those events, you're 3rd in another one, and you're 7th in another one. That's impressive. How did you feel? Did you know right away that you were ranked that high?
I was amazed once I got the 7 state records, but I never thought I'd be nationally ranked, especially first in the 3 events that I'm best at. And even my dad was amazed when I broke 7 state records because we weren't expecting the 7 state records. We were just trying to get at least one.
Well, which one was most exciting for you?
I'd say the 100 IM was the most exciting event to watch and to swim because it was the only event that I swam against my rival, and I had never beaten him in the 100 IM, but I just felt that energy that I had to beat him to get placed first in high point at state and just to feel good about my swimming.
Well, that's great. May I ask who that competitor is that helped you be your best?
His name is Shane, and he does live in Hudson, but he does swim with Minnesota Swim.
So it's nice to have people like that, isn't it, to help push you along?
Yes, it is.
Now tell me about the 100 IM itself. What do you like about that race?
Well, the 100 IM is one of my weaker events. It used to be, at least, because my breaststroke isn't as strong as my other 3. So my strategy was to get ahead a little bit in the first 2 strokes, and then he will catch up, I knew, in the breaststroke. But then I wanted to beat him, so I sprinted that last 25 as much as I could, and I beat him.
Well, it sounds like you really like the butterfly as well. Phil says he likes watching your 50 butterfly, and you really like the 100 butterfly.
He's got a real good feel for the water. He just looks effortless. There's very little energy that's wasted. That's a tribute to his focus at practice and what he has learned through his, limited involvement in the sport. But it's just really beautiful to watch. And every time he gets in, it's just like, what's Andrew going to do next? And it's been a fun, past winter. We've really enjoyed, getting that confidence where it needs to be and having him feel that he can do these things that we've known for a while now that we feel he could do.
Yeah.
But it does take that time, and we think he's finally kind of arriving. So.
No limit set on him. That's very, very nice.
No, yeah. I will never put a limit on my athlete. I think that's the wrong way to go.
Yes. Andrew, talk about your butterfly. What do you like about butterfly?
I like it that it's a difficult stroke of all the strokes, and it has a strategy that you have to be mentally fit and physically fit, and it's just a fun stroke overall because if you mess up a little bit in the 100 or 200, you got tons of time to make up, and you have to pace yourself from the beginning.
Yeah. Now let's shift gears a little bit. I know this last year, one thing that's very unique about you breaking all these records is that both of you were really quite shocked because it sounded like you were snowboarding in late December and you broke your wrist. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And so you were out of the water for what, 3 weeks or so?
I was out of the water for about 10 days, but I did swim for a little bit with my cast on, but I didn't get the workouts I normally would.
So you did a lot of kicking and unique, different kind of training?
Yep, I did lots of kicking and ab work, try to work on my core for my butterfly and legs for the freestyle and backstroke.
Well, I have to ask the coach and the athlete here. Do you think that actually helped you, or do you think it was a test that made you become stronger, or how did you define that?
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, did it hurt? I don't think it hurt him. Would have he been faster? Who knows? Training is just so funny, and each individual athlete is so unique. But I think mentally, I think it really made him realize, it's not always going to be the way we want it to be played out. And I think we kept talking about this might not be the season we thought it was going to be. Because I thought going into it that he would get to where he got to, but when that happened, I really wasn't sure anymore. But I'm very excited to see, how this full summer training session will go and really determine, what can we get out of this? Where can we be?
So Andrew, going into this last season, did you have goals of being ranked so high nationally or breaking those records?
One of my goals was just to break at least 2 state records, but one of my goals wasn't to be nationally ranked. Especially after I broke my wrist, I didn't think it was going to happen.
So then did you feel like you were more relaxed when you raced because of that? Do you feel less pressure on yourself?
When I broke my wrist, I think it helped me mentally a lot to know that even after that, because how well I did, it shouldn't matter, just a setback, that everything can help you in some way.
Yes, absolutely. What are your big long-term dreams in swimming?
Well, I'd like to swim for college, and I want to make it to junior nationals and Olympic trials, and maybe even further to maybe the World Championships and the Olympics.
Wonderful. And what year would you like to be going to the trials by?
Maybe 2016.
Oh, yes, that'd be wonderful, huh? And what is your favorite set in practice?
I don't have a favorite specific set, but I like the sets where we get mid-distance and sprints, and where we get to mix up the strokes a little bit at a fast interval pace.
Do you have a set in practice where you thought you weren't sure you were going to be able to make it and you did much better than you expected?
Well, I'm a sprinter, so we have some longer sets that I wasn't sure that I could actually make. Like we do lots of hundreds and 800s and 500s that I never thought I could even finish.
So when you're in the midst of that set, how do you feel?
Well, I feel tired, but I know every set will help me in my races, that I have to keep going, and every turn I do and every push off I do even further, it'll help me in my race.
Well, great. Well, congratulations to you, Andrew, on a successful winter season, and good luck this upcoming summer. Sounds great. We've obviously developed a powerful program here, and I wish you all the best, Phil.
Thank you for coming down.
All right, thank you.